recently you went to Kumbh Mela. You know, just growing up, watching the TV, this is what I've heard, okay?
Yeah.
Log kho jate hain. It's
Yeah.
very dangerous to go there. You went with your brother and
Yeah.
brother-in-law, yeah?
Yeah, thanks to the Bollywood, I was thinking exactly the same, that I was going with my brother and I was like, कुंभ के मेले में मैं अपने भाई से बिछड़ जाऊंगी and then हम लोग 20 साल बाद कहीं मिलेंगे and then we'll be like, oh my god.
So elaborate your journey. How was it?
It was divine. Basically, I wanted to go to Rishikesh. I didn't even think about going to Kumbh. Too crowded, and I don't like crowded places, to be honest, for the first. I've seen people coming from seas apart, and then they're going to Kumbh, and I was like, I'm here, and it's happening. How come I'm not going?
When I say women empowerment, what does that mean for you?
But
So
why
you-
we have to always cry for that? Give me this right and give me that right. Get up and fight for it.
So being a makeup artist, what was your journey? What skills did you learn or join?
I think in any industry, not just the makeup industry, everything evolves like at the moment so fast. You cannot just learn something zillion years ago and you think that you can just keep using those skills and you will go far. Everything evolves, you have to update your skills every single day. And especially in makeup industry, every single day something new techniques coming, new products coming. You need to up skills, you need to know the new products because the consumers, your clients, knows more than you because of social media.
So यहाँ पे जब हम लोग ब्राइड्स के बारे में सोचते हैं इंडिया में,
Yeah.
जितना गोरा हो सके उतना बनाते हैं मैरिज में.
I'm out
तो
of-
इसमें आपका क्या?
I pack my bags and I go.
You know, weddings में कितना नाटक होता है. How do you handle those नाटक्स?
I love those nataks.
Oh,
Lama loves drama.
Give me an example. Hi everyone, I'm Reena Augustine from Indus Television. Here I have the privilege of having the most gorgeous girl in Brisbane, I would say, Bhavna Mahajan, who is the founder of Enhance Your Beauty. Please welcome Bhavna.
Thank you, Reena. Thank you so much. You're so kind.
Bhavna Mahajan with a double M. Mahajan is double M.
Yeah, because
Oh,
double
yeah.
the trouble.
Double the trouble. Yeah, you are trouble, you know that?
Yeah.
When did you realize that?
When did I realize that? I think I realized from the day one.
I love
That's
it.
my parents told me, actually. I always been in trouble. So I started believing in that. So it's like, okay, fine then. I'll take it as it is.
Are you the youngest?
No, I'm the second. So second child is always a trouble child. So yeah.
The middle child. Yes.
Proud child.
Oh my God, Bhavna.
No one loves
The thing I was going to say is, everyone loves you in Brisbane.
Thank you.
Everyone loves you in Brisbane. Everywhere you go, I have been told that, oh, the poster girl. When I went to Bali with you, that's what they said, poster girl ke saath gaye the. And you are a makeup artist.
I am.
Wow. How long have you been doing the makeup artist?
Well, I'm in this industry for last 23 years. So yeah, it's been that long.
And Enhance Your Beauty, when did you start it?
So officially, I registered my business in 2017. That's where I found this term, Enhance Your Beauty, because I did not want it to say, because for me, makeup is not just applying a makeup. Makeup for me is like to enhance someone's unique features and all that stuff. So I think that name suited what my vision was.
Wow.
So
8 years now after you started your business.
yeah, officially, but otherwise 23 years. So yeah.
Okay, everybody has a dream when they grow up. They want to be an engineer, doctor, or, you know,
You don't touch
something or the other. So you are a makeup artist. So when did you realize you wanted to get into this?
Basically, I always wanted to be a doctor. Ha ha ha.
Oh, really?
So long story short, I can't see blood. I can't hurt people. But for me, doctor was like coming out of the operation theater and say the operation successful. Never thought that you have to cut people, stitch people, and da da da. So when I got into the medical, and I was like, nah, this is not what I was thinking. For me, medical was like to see people like happy, you know, always happy news. But that's not the reality. And then I left medical and I took an arts. And then I found my love for fine arts. So that's more like, you know, sculptures and paintings and da da da. And that's where I found myself that I do have a creative niche into me. So that's where it started. And the makeup came into my life because, you know, when you're in a growing stage, not so good looking stage. And I was only one in my family that had so many pimples and da 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 and the ugliest stage. And I just wanted to, look beautiful. So I was like, okay, fine, let's get into the beauty and makeup and all that stuff and make myself pretty and make other people prettier who has a similar kind of condition like me. Because at that time, I'm talking about zillion years ago, that my mom and dad, like nobody has a knowledge like how to look after the, acne skin, because in my family, nobody had acne. So yeah, I thought beauty and makeup will, hide all those flaws. And
Yeah.
At one point of time, I wanted to do even plastic surgery on myself because I hated myself that much. But I'm glad I didn't do that.
So there's no plastic surgery there?
Nope.
Okay.
No, at all. There is no plastic in me at all.
Okay. Brisbane, Australia. So, when you think of the best of both worlds, where would you live and want to live, India or Australia?
It's the hardest question
Okay.
because I live in Australia at the moment, but I love India. India is always going to be the first home, no matter what. And I can always come back and live here, no matter what. So, but I appreciate Australia. Australia has given me a lot. So yeah, actually, I'm lucky. I can live anywhere I want. So why to choose?
Why to choose?
I can just shuffle around 6 months here and there. And I love winter. So I'm glad in Australia, winter starts when there is a summer in India. So I can have a longest winter, always.
I love your idea.
Yeah, there you go. I'm smart.
I love the heat. I love the heat.
So you can do that too.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Bhavna, Australia is considered to be one of the most beautiful country in the world, right? Australia gives us opportunities.
That's a
I was told anything you touch will turn into gold.
Yeah.
And it was true for me.
I agree.
Was it
I
safe for you?
agree. Absolutely agree. So of course, that's what I said. That Australia gave me a lot. I never thought that this profession will take me that far. So thanks to Australia.
How did you get your first gig in Australia?
That's a very good question, actually. I was working in the salon, and this girl came for a haircut, and her friend was getting married, and that was my first gig. I had 16 makeup on that day by myself, and that was my first ever gig in Australia. And she believed in me. I didn't even have a proper kit at that time, and I was like, I don't even have enough products. But she was like, no, we want you. And I was like, okay, fine. And after that, that confidence level is like, okay, fine, I can do it. And that's where it started.
It's the quality of your work,
I can say that.
isn't it? You are one of the most busiest people I know in Brisbane. You are always busy with doing wedding,
Yeah.
right? Weekends are fully booked for you.
Yeah.
So what are the obstacles that you face when you do a bride?
Actually, I don't find any obstacles when I do brides because I enjoy doing it. Even though I have to wake up like 11:30 midnight or 12 midnight or even like 2 a.m. in the morning, I find myself the happiest person when I'm driving to my bride's house. And I was like, I feel so blessed. So there is no obstacles, to be honest.
Okay, the reason I ask you is, I think it was 2016 and I was at a friend's wedding. Not very close, but she got the makeup artist got her ready. And then she did not like the makeup. Has it ever happened with you that the bride wasn't happy?
No, not.
Oh my God.
Because what you have to do is it's a big day for someone.
Yes.
So you don't go straight away and do their makeup. You have
Okay.
to go with their wedding journey. From the day one they book you in, you need to know them. You need to know their comfort level. You need to know what they like and what they don't like. So if you do your homework properly, I don't think so you can go wrong.
So important.
It's very important because you need to connect with your brides. They're not your clients only. You need to. It's a big day for them that they cannot recreate it again. Once you ruin their day, it's been ruined. So you have to be very mindful and very thoughtful that you have to do your homework properly. You have to sit down with them. You have to have a meeting. And if you can't understand, make sure you do a trials and all that stuff.
Trial.
Do not ruin their big day. And I would say the same to the brides. Don't just book anyone from Instagram or even whatever. Like if you have a dream makeup artist, even though you have a dream makeup artist, make sure you take a trial. Because sometimes everybody has a different style of doing things.
And it's a big day for them.
Absolutely. So don't take a risk.
Okay, let's keep the makeup on the side now. Recently, you went to Kumbh Mela. Just growing up, watching the TV, this is what I've heard, okay?
Yeah.
Log kho jate hain. It's
Yeah.
very dangerous to go there. You went with your brother and
Yeah.
brother-in-law, yeah?
Yeah. Thanks to the Bollywood, I was thinking exactly the same, that I was going with my brother. And I was like, कुंभ के मेले में मैं अपने भाई से बिछड़ जाऊंगी and then हम लोग 20 साल बाद कहीं मिलेंगे and then we'll be like, oh my God.
So Bollywood.
But then thanks to the phones nowadays, you cannot get lost, because then you can reach out on each other. It's like, hey, where are you? I'm lost. Come and meet me here.
True, true. So elaborate your journey. How was it?
It was divine. It was absolutely divine. We were scared at first because, how like on Instagram and social media, people were talking like a lot, like you have to walk this much and it's not very well managed and da. And we were like, and once I booked the tickets, I really wanted to go. Basically, I wanted to go to Rishikesh. I didn't even think about going to Kumbh because too crowded, and I don't like crowded places, to be honest, for the first thing. And then Rishikesh wasn't happening. And I've seen people coming from seas apart and then they're going to Kumbh, and I was like, I'm here and it's happening. How come I'm not going? So all of a sudden I spoke to my brother and I was like, I want to go. And then he said, I'll go when it's not too crowded. And I was like, that's when I'll be back to Australia then. And then I was like, okay, fine, I'll go by myself. And then he was like, okay, if you want to go, let's book it. And that's happened 2 days before the Kumbh. We booked in, and I spoken to my brother-in-law, and he wanted to go. And I was like, we booked his ticket as well. And it just happened. It just aligned. And after that, each and everything aligned itself. We didn't even do anything. I would say when it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
So what is all Kumbh Mela about?
So Kumbh Mela, number one, hats off to the organization. The way they have built a city, it's absolutely mind-blowing. And that's temporary. Even when I went there, I never thought it was a temporary. I thought it's like a permanent. This is how it is. But then when you speak to local people, when you speak to these auto rickshaws, and then we have spoken to quite a few local people, and they told us this is a temporary. This is only for they only started building after 15th of October.
Okay.
Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. I am so proud right now to be Indian that this has to be history. This has to be in the history. There should be a documentary on it, like how they have done it.
So it's like after 144 years, it's like Mahakumbh Mela. So Mela for me is the rides, kids playing. What is it?
So Mela wasn't, so they have that Mela all the time anyway. So it wasn't just because of the Kumbh. So that Mela stays there forever. I think that's what the locals said.
Okay.
The Kumbh Mela there was a Naga sadhus, actually, who worship Lord Shiva. So I think that's what I was connected with the Kumbh is, because I love Shiva. I would not say that I worship him. I just love him. So this is how it's happened. And when I read about Naga sadhus and all, not elaboratedly, just a little bit, and I got to know that they actually, of course, they worship Shiva and all that stuff. So that's kind of attracted me. And I wanted to go and see them. And because after watching those funny reels that, they're so chill, and at the same time, they can be really aggressive as well if you're, So yeah, we just wanted to go and have an experience and see what it's all about. And then I wanted to have the Sanan at Sangam, where the Saraswati, Yamuna and Ganga meets. Of course, the Saraswati you cannot see because it's actually vilupt hai. So you can only just see the Ganga and Yamuna, and you can actually see the difference of the water. But that was divine again. I was sitting there for 10 minutes and I meditated, and I was literally, at that time, I was meditating and I wanted to think about something. You know how when you meditate, you want to focus on something. All I could see was nothing. I was zero at that time. I was shunya at that time. It was just beautiful feeling.
I love that.
And then the most beautiful thing I have seen there was Shiva's Aarti, which I've never seen in any temple. And not that just the normal temples. They do Aarti with damrus.
Yeah.
And that gave me goosebumps. And it actually went for half an hour.
Wow.
And that feeling was next level. We felt like we all were dancing with Shiva. And I was crying. I had a big tears coming out of my eyes, and I had no idea what's happening. But it was so joyful. That
You
was
felt the
completed my
spiritual-
Kumbh journey.
Wow.
And we were not even going to that temple.
Okay.
It was we are just going to the temple all day. We can just avoid this. Let's go somewhere else. And somehow we just turned around and was like, nahin, let's go. And I'm
you were
glad.
so lucky at that, this time of your, you booked your flight, the time when Kumbh Mela is happening,
Yeah.
and you got the opportunity to go.
Yeah.
So Kumbh Mela is built of temples and people just go worship, take snan?
No, so there is no temple in the Kumbh. So Kumbh Mela is only for the Naga sadhus. And all the
What is Naga Sadhu?
So Naga sadhus is basically, they have whatever I don't know much about them, to be honest, but they have devoted their life completely to Shiva. I think they do sadhanas and all. So they have they do the pindan and all that stuff. So basically, in this in this world, they don't even exist.
Okay.
So if you know what I mean.
Yes. So they've given everything to God. They are just
exactly.
devotees and
They fully surrendered themselves. But they're very intelligent. They're very chill. They're very cool. I cannot even imagine. I thought Babas will be very serious and they will be doing sadhanas. But they were having such a fun time.
I love that.
They were wearing sunglasses at night time.
Really? Oh wow. Okay.
They were, that was actually epic. And I was I thought I would be very scared. I would not be able to go, near to them and all that. But no, they're very, the vibe over there was very comfortable. I did not even feel scared, or I did not even feel that I, why I'm here and all that stuff. It was absolutely amazing.
So Bhavna, you just mentioned about being scared. You don't want to go to the sadhus and all that. So growing up, that's what we were told, that sadhus, are scary. And, we were Catholic. So it was so different. So when sadhus came, we used to run and get, hide ourselves. So that's you being a Hindu girl. Now I'm surprised that that's the same story you have heard.
It's only because of, I think, the way they have, because they use those ashes all over their body, and
their portrayal of them.
Exactly. And I was thinking the sadhus, because they do sadhana for years and years. They don't become Naga sadhus overnight.
Okay.
They have to do a lot of hard work and a lot of sadhanas to come to this level. So to that level, I was thinking they would be very serious. They would be very don't come near.
Unapproachable.
Very much. But when I went there, they were very chill.
Okay.
Man, okay. Okay.
So your overall experience of Kumbh Mela was good, and you were there for 2 days?
We were there for 2 days. Yeah, 3 days. 3 days and 2 nights. Yeah.
Tell me about the food.
Amazing. Man, amazing and very reasonable. So yeah, nobody was ripping you off on the name of Kumbh.
Okay.
Everything was reasonable, and food was yummiest.
Street food?
Street food, or street food, or even in the restaurants, or even they have actually in the Kumbh Mela, they have done the food courts. It's by the government anyway. And then there's very nice food, very clean,
Okay.
very well organized. And even then the toilets are everywhere, and the women changing rooms are everywhere. The kids, the parents' rooms are everywhere. So
Wow, it sounds like a modern Mela here.
it's very much.
Because what I assumed
safe.
and thought was something dirty, ahmat phekna. You know what I mean? In the TV, that's what I saw growing up. I definitely need to see the photos.
And I'm glad you said the dirty thing, that the things will be everywhere. The cleaners are everywhere, and they're cleaning 24/7.
I love that.
They're cleaning. Even we were man, can you just stop it right now? Because we need to cross the path. But it's very clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad to hear this, because people from all over the world, the organizations actually booked several group of people who are yogis from overseas.
Exactly.
And the people who actually teach yoga, the meditation teachers, they all booked themselves for this special.
Yeah.
And now I feel that they are here. They will see how amazing the country is, clean it is. It's nothing dirty, and they are actually having a great experience.
Absolutely.
I love
Absolutely.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
So Bhavna, talking, you mentioned to me, don't talk about women empowerment. So my question to you is, when I say women empowerment, what does that mean for you?
Why we need to talk about it? Tell me.
Yeah, I like that, because that's what you said. Why do we have to talk about
Why
it?
we have to talk about it?
So
Why we have to always cry for that, for our give me this right and give me that right. Get up and fight for it. Get up and get your thing. Update yourself. Get some skills. Find those opportunities. Grab those opportunities. They are there. It's outdated now, this women empowerment and all.
Isn't
it's outdated. I mean, we have so many opportunities right now. The world has changed. So stop crying.
I love that. get your skills you mentioned.
Yeah.
So being a makeup artist, what was your journey? What skills did you learn or join?
I think in any industry, not just the makeup industry, everything evolves like at the moment so fast. You cannot just like learn something zillion years ago and you think that you can just keep using those skills and you will go far. Everything evolves. You have to update your skills every single day. And especially in makeup industry, every single day something new techniques coming, new products coming. You need to up skills. You need to know the new products because the consumers, your clients, knows more than you because of social media. Thanks to social media, and no thanks to social media as well. But yes, so they know more than you, but you have to be a step ahead of them. So I would say, as I said, in any industry, you have
So
to keep
what did
updating.
you do for it?
You learn wherever you go,
You join
wherever you watch.
course?
You can. So I do normally online classes. Like if I like someone's makeup and I really want to learn some sort of particular techniques because everybody has some signature looks and some
Yeah.
signature way of doing things, then I just pay and then I do little classes, 1-day classes, or even like their monthly or yearly subscription so that I can just keep learning. So it's a professional development. You have to keep yourself. So this is the way, like, and wherever you go, learn from everywhere. Learn from everybody. Don't ever be a hero. Always be a zero.
Don't ever be a hero, always be a zero. So in that
Because
way?
you can only learn if you think you're zero. If you already think you're a hero, you would never learn.
Yeah.
So even though if I am doing this for the last 23 years, every single bride, whenever I get up in the morning or when I book a bride, I still get those butterflies. I still do my homework and I still feel like this is my first bride ever. Because I want to create something different. I want to create something which I haven't created. Or I want to make them feel comfortable. And not every person is same.
True.
So I want to celebrate the individuality at the same time.
And you have your own brand.
Yes.
Yes. So what is the brand called?
Enhance your beauty.
And
My makeup
brand.
products. And
Yeah,
all. So
products,
that's
yeah.
Bhavna Beauty Beauty. Of course, it still say the Enhance Your Beauty. So I've got lashes and I've got beauty blenders and the many more will come soon.
Okay.
So
airbrush. I remember you mentioned to me last time about airbrush. So people used to say that the invention of airbrush has made the makeup industry very easy. Is that true?
to be honest, I never liked airbrush. And I never used airbrush. I have done the training with it, but to me, it's just too heavy. It's great for the magazine shoots and all that stuff where your makeup artist is actually standing next to you and fixing everything. Otherwise, I think it's just too heavy for me. And I don't like to cover up or hide any flaws. For me, as I said, the makeup is basically enhancing your features, right? And to make you comfortable. I don't want to change you. I don't want you to wash your face and then you'll be like, who are you?
Yes, true.
So, yes. So I don't know. The AM brush was never my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I read somewhere, and before actually having you today, I was doing some of my homework. So makeup artists usually can look at a person and say that, okay, iska main, she needs a bit of this, bit of that. So when you look at me, what do you think is lacking?
I never see. Oh my God. I remember I wanted to bash you one day because when you said I'm not pretty and I was like, I'd throw you on my chair and I was like, never said that ever.
I wanted to get the makeup done by you.
Yeah.
I'm like, ऐसे ही मानेगी, emotional blackmail करती.
Yeah, whatever. No, to me, I think I see beauty in everything. Everyone is beautiful. I always see the best features. And that's what I enhance because when I enhance the good features, nobody actually look at your flaws.
So यहाँ पे जब हम लोग brides के बारे में सोचते हैं इंडिया में,
Yeah.
जितना गोरा हो सके उतना बनाते हैं मैरिज में.
I'm out
तो
of-
इसमें आपका क्या?
I pack my bags and I go.
When they tell you to do that.
Yeah, I don't stay.
I love that.
Yeah.
Give me one example of what happened, when happened.
Actually, it's never happened. It's only happened once, and I said to her, "It's like this is not my thing. I don't do this." And she insisted me to do it, and I was like, "I cannot. I just cannot. It's my gut feeling. My instinct just doesn't allow me to do that because I can make your face a little lighter. What about the body?
Mm.
And I don't want that your face looks like it's somebody else's face on somebody else's body."
So why do you think people do that?
I think it's just because of India has made that tagline, like, if you're fair, you're beautiful. But to be honest, the makeup or anything looks great in brown skin. You don't have to be fair. We are the prettiest, I think. We have the beautiful features. We have beautiful eyes, to be honest. Indians have the prettiest
yes.
eyes. So bloody talk with your eyes.
Yeah. Because a majority of the makeup artists over here, when I landed last week, I went to get my eyebrows trimmed and they said, see, मैं बर्फ में रहकर आई हूँ 6 महीने, ठीक है? वहाँ पे sun नहीं था, ठीक है?
Right.
And there, वहाँ से आए हैं हम यहाँ पे. And the makeup, the lady at the salon, so this is how they have been taught or they are. बहुत टैनिंग हो गई. मैंने बोला 6 महीने से सन नहीं देखा, ये मेरा नेचुरल है. This is the way they tell you that बहुत टैनिंग हुई, हमारे पास ये फेशियल है, ये फेशियल.
That's a marketing. That's a wrong strategy that they
कितना गलत है. See, अगर कोई 18-year-old को बोल दिया तो सोचो उसके दिमाग में कैसा. A beautician has told her.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what is happening all over the world, not just in India. Of course, here the tanning is a big thing, but all over the world there is another way of selling products and selling, doing the marketing. And that's why beauty industry has gone really, really down. Because beauty industry means you make another person feel good about themselves, not hate themselves. And then they will spend zillion of dollars, I would about to say. Zillion. Like a lot of money on like become fairer or darker and all that stuff. In Australia, of course, people tan. Because there's like, oh, you're too white.
You know, in Australia, in France, go to a beauty salon.
Yeah.
They actually tell you, no, you don't need, they don't even want your business.
Exactly.
And I'm like, they are honest.
Yeah.
Telling in Australia for 15 years, no one ever told me. Like, you know, so sell करने के लिए यहाँ पे किया जाता है, but it affects the brain of the child.
They don't think that way.
No.
They don't even care. All they care about their business. All they care about the figures at the end of the month.
Wow.
Yeah.
So give me one example where a bride, you know, weddings में कितना नाटक होता है. How do you handle those nataks?
I love those nataks.
Oh my God.
Lama loves drama.
Give me an example where it was a bit.
Actually, I love Indian weddings, to be honest, because there's so much drama, but it's a good drama. And the brides of course, it's natural that to be nervous. Your life is going to be changing, you know, not just your surname. The whole life is going to change. So it's okay to be nervous. It's normal to be nervous. And I just, because I had a psychology background, and I don't know, I tend to calm them down, and I don't know. It's very natural to me. I never thought it's a big deal or I cannot handle this and that. Like there are a couple of people when you think, it's like, why I'm here? I need to finish up makeup and I need to go. Because some people just become so like, you know, that bridezilla, just get over them. But it's very rare, touch wood. I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful that I had really, really, really beautiful brides.
I like that.
So I never had any issues calming them down. And I think the more stressed they are, the more I calmer them down. We become friends. Even after, like, I've got so many brides, we're still friends. Only because I was there for them, with them, when they needed me the most. Or when they needed someone the most.
Yeah.
And being a makeup artist, I was the first person they see me.
That's true.
Because they are on my chair for 4 hours.
Did any bride run away and all that?
I told them to run away because I was like, you know what, I've been married for so many years and you're not going to get anything out of it. So this is your last chance. I will help you to run away. But they don't listen to me.
They don't listen.
And it's like, get your makeup done, pay me and then run. But then they don't.
Oh, Bhavna. Yeah, look good and then run. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't want to, like, that's my business, man. If I ask them to run away and they don't want to get the makeup done, I'm ruining my business. So I was like, if you want to run, at least you need to look pretty.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Bhavna and I have actually walked many stages as models, right? And behind the scenes, on the stage, as hosts, and it has always been a great experience with you, Bhavna.
Thank you.
Am I saying your name correct? Bhavna?
Yeah, I'm used to it now. People call me so many different ways, like Bona and Bhavna. And like in Australia, nobody can pronounce my name properly. So I have to actually break it down and say, just call me Pavlova. Just think about Pav. You know?
Pavlova. Where did that even come back? Pav. You're right.
Yeah.
Pavlova.
Pavlova. Sweet, crunchy, and crispy.
Yummy. Sweet. So what are the 3 things that you would like to talk to our viewers and say never to give up and follow your dreams?
Follow your dreams. Never give up. Do not give up. and be consistent. And if you want to achieve anything in life, I would say stay focused. Keep learning, keep practicing, and have patience in life, which is, I think we are lacking at the moment, is patience. Even watching videos, I was realizing the other day, we can't watch YouTube's videos anymore. We're so used to having those scrolling up in like reels and da. And it's like we are lacking that patience era.
True.
And if you don't have patience, you cannot get far. We cannot get anything overnight. You have to work hard.
And focus
You
on
have
one
to.
thing.
Focus on one thing first.
Yeah.
Go one step at a time. You
right.
can't just, climb a ladder, the last one, you have to go
Step by step.
step by step. If you want to go far.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go far, bloody jump
Okay.
and then break your leg,
Break your
whatever.
leg. You know,
Yeah.
you talked about patience. मुझे अभी ऐसा लग रहा है I have to ask you whether this is normal, okay? So I was watching a show with Amy and I realized that when I'm home and I'm watching something, I just forward it. Netflix में कुछ भी show forward कर करके मुझे ending देखना है. But उनके साथ बैठ के मैं देख रही थी, I'm like, oh God, ये कितना मुझे पता है क्या हो रहा है, forward नहीं कर पा रही. That's when I realized, is that a
Yeah.
problem?
It is a problem.
Oh my gosh, I don't have
Yeah.
patience.
Yes, you do not. You have a problem. You need help.
I need help.
Dr. Bhavna is here. I'll help you out with that.
What do? You patiently watch the whole
Very
show.
patient.
Yeah,
I'm very
Wow.
patient.
you are.
Yeah, I can watch anything and everything. And I love to find, even though the bore, how would I say, the movies, were like very outdated, very slow movies. I love them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite movie for now, like, for a long time, it was like Lunchbox.
I love.
A lot of people just found it is so
it's
slow.
such a great movie.
And I can watch.
I love that movie. It actually shows you the reality of life.
Exactly. I love me time because I always on the run. And sometimes I like to be slow. I like to do nothing. I like to be a couch potato. And when I have a day off, that's what I do. I love that. I just watch movie and I can watch anything and everything.
That's Bhavna Mahajan from Australia for us. Thank you very much, Bhavna. Thank
My
you.
pleasure. Thank you for having me, Reena. Thank you.